Hello everyone and welcome back to our Football Manager 2017 European Journeyman series with Napoli. That title is very, very long. Now today we are in mid-December. We'll also go through the winter break and kick off our first match of 2024, which will be our this is our 8th season of this series. We've already got 2 Champions Leagues under our belt though, so not a bad return up to now. We have had a poor start to this season though. Very few draws, which is nice. Just 1 draw in competitive games this season, but it's been a bit traffic lighty at the moment. A few reds dotted along a lot of greens, and we need to put an end to those dots of red. If we can keep that up, we did win our last 3 matches, we'll be looking pretty good at the end of this episode. If we can beat Basel, we'll have a perfect record in the Europa League. We'll then take on Navara, who are 19th in Serie A, before we then take on Pescara Calcio in the TIM Cup first round, trying to retain that competition this year. And then we've got a huge match against Palermo, who are 6th, as we look to secure our 4th position in the league table ahead of huge matches against Inter Milan and Juventus. So an awful lot to look forward to in this series, as well as the January transfer window. Now, ahead of this match against Basel, I'm not going to rest players. I want to keep winning matches. I want to keep the morale high, and I want to keep players fresh, but slightly rotated. Which means that for the first time in a while, we're starting with our original tactic, the home tactic. We've been using the away one for the last 4 games. It's got us 3 wins and a defeat. But I want to keep the game guessing a little bit, and I want this tactic to do well, especially away from home against Basel. I don't want to be too aggressive, and I think the other tactic with 2 up top is a bit more focused on goals. But we're still playing a strong side. Raimundo leading the line with Asensio and Florenzi alongside him. Then it's Curo, Romero and Diawara in midfield. Traore, Mancini, Koulibaly and Haisaj, our main back 4, all still on the pitch. Murray obviously in goal. Freitas with the throw-in. Romero's picked up the loose ball. Now Haisaj. Inside to Diawara. Raimundo charging at the defence. They're backing off him and he's gone for goal. Unfortunately, he's just put it over the bar. Raklik sends the ball up the field. Koulibaly wins the header. Raimundo brings it down and spins the defender beautifully. Asensio takes it to the byline, pulls it back, and Raimundo will rarely miss from that position. Front on goal, tucking it into the bottom corner, exactly where you'd want him to put it. And we do have the lead. It's taken just over an hour, but we have thoroughly deserved it. Koulibaly trying to win possession, but he's given it away. Djuric over the top. Nezovic is in on goal. Now Levicki, but well stopped by Murray. That's what we paid so much money for. Corner from Asensio, sent to the back post. Diawara's header comes to Balbuena. Mancini in there has managed to head that one past the keeper. It's his first goal for the club, and he's made sure we will have a perfect record in our Europa League group stage. But here is a corner taken by Xhaka for Basel. It's dropped down, and Crivelli has just stolen in there with a touch to immediately peg us back. Diawara back to Mancini. Now Traore finds Curo. Balbuena on the ball. Outside to Traore. Curo. Balbuena forward to Asensio. Traore in a good position. Pulls it back. He wasn't able to get the cross in. Here's Asensio across to Torres into Morgenstern, but Vaklik gets there first. Balbuena to Curo. Ball out wide to Asensio, now forward to Morgenstern, getting it forward quickly. Torres steals in on goal and he's hit the post, but it comes straight back to him and he makes it 3-1. Well, that is now 4 straight victories for us. A good 3-1 performance away from home against Basel. That means we have won the group by 9 points ahead of Köln. Still a few of the big teams going through there. We'll have the Europa League group knockout stage draw after our next match, which is against 19th place Navara, so there's no reason why we can't stretch our winning streak to 5 games. We're at home for that one as well, and at home against Pescara Calcio we should be able to make it 6, and then it's all about that big match with Palermo. It is now time to take on bottom club Navara. They have dropped down to 20th place. We are at home. We're going to go with the away tactic in the hope that it will get us a few goals in the process of winning the match. Is worth noting we've dropped out of the Champions League places. Inter Milan did win, so we now have to win to reclaim our 4th position in the league. And given the way that our team is playing at the moment, I am expecting us to do just that. Peña with the throw-in. It's come back to him. He sends it to the back stick. LaRusso allowed to bring it down, and he's found Arumu, who somehow has failed to score, though. It's something out of nothing for Navara, who've barely threatened in this game. We've had 14 efforts, half of them going on target, and failed to score at this point. But we're definitely in control of this game, but that really was close to putting us behind. Danger still not clear, but Traore wins the ball and does send it forward. Asensio played in. Here's Traore on the left. Puts it in the middle. Asensio couldn't finish that chance. We're now at the hour mark and we've still not even had a highlight in our favour, yet Navara have taken the lead against us. It's Kekskis, I think, who's got it. I think he's a centre-back for them as well. And we are now 1-0 down with about 20 minutes to go. And this really does just sum up our season so far, halfway through. And we just cannot get a result against these sort of teams to save our life. I'm throwing in the last couple of substitutes just to try and freshen up the team and get a couple of players on yellow cards off the field. But as I try and do that, another one picks up a yellow card. We're already on our most aggressive tactic. We can go overload, which we're going to do right now. But we've had 25 shots, 10 on target and not scored. The two strikers with awful ratings, 6.4 and 6.6. Here's Haisaj with the throw-in into Raimundo. He's gone for goal and he has snuck it in mostly thanks to some poor goalkeeping. But it does give us 5 minutes to try and grab a winner from this game. It's not all over yet. We have had a lot of chances, but I'm starting to think that it's not going to happen for us. Here's another highlight. Bartoli into the middle, comes back to him. Will he boot it in? Instead he goes to Odger in a good position. Nobody on side for him. He's gone for goal himself. Never going to score that one. Why were the strikers offside there? Providel will send it out, and I think that is probably all she wrote for us. Koulibaly's picked up an injury as well. Here's Aramu into the box, taken by Murray. I'm pretty sure the full-time whistle is about to go. And we have thrown away yet more points in our hunt for Champions League football. Navara did actually beat us when we played them away from home earlier this season, and I'm absolutely livid at the team for not getting the result, because it means that instead of being 1 point clear of Inter Milan, we are now 1 point behind them. Roma absolutely running away with the league this season, the team that I could possibly have been the manager of by this stage. And we are 1 point clear in 6th place, but it's definitely a race between us, Inter Milan and Palermo for that 4th position in the league. Hopefully we can drag Juventus back into the race, or AC Milan if they slip up. But right now it is all on us to finally get into those top 4 positions. Well, here is the draw for the knockout stage of the Europa League. No seeding system, it would appear, but there's some very big teams in here, including Manchester United and Arsenal. But let's get into the draw. Bournemouth in there and Crystal Palace, which is quite funny. Dortmund getting Rapid Vienna. Arsenal getting Cologne, the team from our group. So good thing we didn't finish second. But we pull out Gladbach. That should be a comfortable opponent to get past. Just looking for the other big teams. PSV and Man United, that's a good draw. Valencia getting Braga. No other major teams down here at the moment. And Inter Milan get Olympiacos. Now, there's not that many big teams in here, and a couple of upsets could leave us with a clear path to the final. Manchester United, Arsenal and Inter Milan, the biggest teams. I would expect Man United and Arsenal to be the ones that would really challenge us, but I'm not seeing anybody else in there that I'm that worried about. So maybe this could be an alternative route to Champions League football. Well, our final scheduled fixture ahead of the winter break is at home against Pescara Calcio. Hopefully this will be a chance for us to get back to winning ways ahead of 3 very big matches in the league. I'm not sure if the second round of this competition will be scheduled immediately after this match, but we'll find out shortly. We are going to stick with the formation that failed to get us the win against Navara. I still think it's a good formation for getting goals, but occasionally our strikers really do not turn up to play. The last game was a huge case in point on that, but hopefully with them in this match against Pescara, we should be able to get the goals on the board and easily put ourselves into the next round. There's no other major surprises in their team, just Koulibaly forced out to the right hand side for Haisaj, or rather for Traore, because Traore is now out for 3 months, which means Haisaj has been moved to the left and Koulibaly can expect to start more on the right hand side. Mancini and Koundé therefore are the central defensive partnership. Corner from Romero into the middle, it's down to Mancini and somehow scrambled away from the goal. Romero running at Pescara, taken out to the left flank. Now Haisaj cutting inside. He's got an angle on goal which he's gone for and the keeper pushes it past the post. Morgenstern's corner and Koundé has flashed that one across the face of the goal. DeMarco with the throw into Pucci. DeMarco back to Pucci again, ball swung across the other side of the field and a cracking effort there from Petrocelli has put us behind out of nothing. What a strike that was. Well, it's taken now to the 70th minute for us to have a highlight in our fight to get back in this match. The ball headed away by DeMarco. Here's Curo. Forward to Odje in the middle. He can pay a slip pass. It's Morgenstern to Koulibaly back across to Haisaj. We're just going nowhere at the moment, but Felipe puts the cross in out to Romero. Now Odje, Romero shot blocked, but Koulibaly, of all people, has popped up again with an excellent strike to the far post to make it 1-1. 10 minutes left to go. It's Romero on the ball who finds Morgenstern. Now Haisaj. Across to Odje, who has a strike, but it's stopped by the keeper. Matachena sends the ball forward, cut out by Koundé. Now with Rea. He loses it to Balbuena. Raimundo on the ball has got Morgenstern there with him. He's going on his own and he's put it wide. Well, we are now heading to extra time, which is absolutely outrageous for the team to be in this situation. We've got one more substitution to make, which I'm making now. But the fact that we haven't scored more than 1 goal after 27 efforts on at the goal is absolutely unacceptable. Bartoli with the throw. Morgenstern taken out by the defender, but nothing doing, says the referee. Ball won by Ricci, but Koundé clears up. Now Odje looks for Morgenstern, who brings it down, puts it into the middle. And Odje arriving has cracked it into the top corner, and it has taken an excellent finish to finally break the deadlock with Pescara. But we have still got a job to do in the last 6 minutes to keep them out of our goal, which is absolutely incredible that I'm having to say that nearly 2 hours into the match. DeMarco on the attack for them. Now De Cristico. Ball won by Balbuena. He sends it into Felipe. Back to Odje. Romero to Felipe. Back to Balbuena. Now Bartoli. Cross to Romero. We are going absolutely nowhere. This is so frustrating to watch. It's very different from the team we were watching just 2 or 3 games ago. And now we've lost the ball again. Ricci over the top looking for Capello, who's in on goal. Goes for goal and he's put it wide. Well, the referee's going to put this game to an end any minute now. Just 10 seconds or so left of added time on extra time. There's no way Pescara are getting back into it. We have managed to scrape through 37 shots on goal. I am really not happy with that. That we only managed to get 2 finishes and they came from a fullback and a central midfielder. Our 2 strikers really poor today. They just cannot handle the pressure whatsoever, and I've got no idea why. Let's just have a quick look at these 2 strikers. Morgenstern, the first one. If we look at his report, lack of determination, that's a big issue with Morgenstern. And if we have a look at Raimundo and his report, bearing in mind he's one of the best strikers in the world, he doesn't enjoy big matches. So between the two of them, we have got a couple of absolute chokers. That is why our form is having this really patchy streak. That between them, they just cannot get a goal when we need it. And that is a big thing to address next season, I think. We're going to need a third striker in the team who can finish and play in big matches, because otherwise, in these next 3 games, I think are all going to be duds on the basis of our 2 strikers. We're going to have to stop playing the 2 of them up front because we need goals from the wingers. And Asensio has not scored any with this other tactic. So we're going to have to revert to our old tactic going forward, despite this 6-game unbeaten run. But we are now in the winter break at least, so we can forget about things for a little bit. Try and focus on training, see if it does any good, and then in 3 weeks' time we will take on Palermo with the January transfer window back open. We are now through the winter break and into the January transfer window. I do have some targets lined up. We also have a little bit of cash to spend, £15 million in the transfer budget and just under 100 grand in the wage budget, or over 100 grand rather in the wage budget. So enough money to bring in a big player, and I think we do need that one big player either on the right wing or another striker to just back up Raimundo and Morgenstern. Bringing in another striker will allow Morgenstern to play a bit more on the right wing, and given we're now using 2 tactics and only one of which uses a right winger, I am much more tempted to go for the striker. But I will let you know about those players once we have put a bid in. At the moment, I'm still doing scouting. I'm still looking around players and waiting to see what my scouts think of them before I sign anybody. But as soon as somebody's in, I will let you know. Now, for this last match, we are desperate for a win away from home against Palermo. As things stand in the league, if we win this game, we will take back 4th spot. I think we'll go 1 point clear of Inter Milan, who've already played. So that would be the ideal situation. We are using the home formation because we're away from home against a big team. Raimundo is going to lead the line with Morgenstern and Pires alongside him. Then it's Curo, Asensio and Romero in midfield with Traore, Koulibaly, Mancini and Haisage the back 4. Murray in goal. Asensio finds Curo, now Raimundo over the top, finding Pires, ball inside to Curo, is cut out, but Raimundo might get onto that, he's beaten the keeper to the ball, an absolutely terrible back pass, allowing Raimundo to get the goal and give us the lead. Corner from Hiljemark, sent to the back post, they've got a lot of players over there, but Murray does well to catch that one. Sakor. Ball on to Khalid, given away to Mancini. Now Morgenstern in possession, finds Curo. Ball through for Raimundo, in on goal. Can't finish it past the keeper. Corner from Asensio, sent into the near post. It is cleared away towards Curo. We do seem to be on top of Palermo at the minute, and Pires in a good position. Plenty of players in there, and Raimundo could have had a hat-trick already today. Alastra sends the ball down the field, looking for Raul Jimenez, our former Benfica striker. The ball given to Hiljemark. He's looking for Khalid down the wing, but Traore cleans up well. Murray sends the ball forward, and it's come for Raimundo in a good position. He's having a good game, to be fair, Raimundo. He's just not quite finishing the chances. Here's Sakor. Long ball forward, looking for Jimenez. Koulibaly sends it back. And there is Curo looking for Morgenstern, back to Sakor again. Is he going to try and pinch one over the top? Instead it's Banazzoli through to Khalid, now Raul Jimenez. And he's done what he did for us so many times at Benfica. He's already on 21 goals for Palermo this season. Pires looking to launch an instant reply attack. Instead he gives the ball away to Hiljemark. Now Gallo. Palermo definitely the better team in this second half, but here's Asensio to Curo. Out wide to Haisage. Looking for more from Morgenstern today. He's got the ball now. Curo out to Haisage again. Plenty of players in the box. He's found Raimundo. And ahead of the goalkeeper, Raimundo gets his 16th of the season to make it 2-1. Pellegrini. Back to Pascucci. Ball in is nodded home by Manelli. But the offside flag is up against Khalid. And we get away with that one. We've got 12 minutes to see this game out. Raimundo with a free kick for the hat-trick, but it's saved by Alastra not far away. Raimundo really should have had a hat-trick in this match. Ball pumped forward by their keeper. It's come to Curo. Now given away to Jimenez in a dangerous position. Ball over to Manelli. Well won by Asensio. High sash forward to Morgenstern. Given away to Silva. Now Bernardoni to Manelli. Romero wins it and releases Morgenstern in the same motion. Raimundo in a great position in the middle. Plenty of players over. And Raimundo, he has done it. He has turned up in a big match. Made it 3-1 and got an excellent hat-trick along the way. It may even have been a perfect hat-trick. I don't remember what foot he scored his first goal on. But that is 3-1 and game over for Palermo. We're going to run down the clock and give Raimundo a little bit of time off here. We'll bring on Florenzi for the last few minutes, get a little run around. But that is an excellent performance from Raimundo. He could have had 5 today, but we have done very well against Palermo. Starting the new year off in the best possible way, and it means that we should move up to 4th place in the league. There's a full-time whistle, an excellent all-round performance by the team, reacting well as well to going behind. And there it is, 4th place. We are back into the top 4. We have lost so much ground on the top 3. Definitely a 3-horse race for the title. We are 14 points off Roma, 17 games in. And Sassuolo actually in 5th place, just 1 point behind us, as are Inter Milan and then Palermo. The rest of the teams dropping off a bit, 6 points between us and 8th now. So it looks like there's 4 teams currently gunning for our position in 4th place. Well, that is the end of this episode. Not quite a perfect episode. That draw with Navara really hurting us, and a poor performance against Pescara did not help either. But overall, a nice run of form now. We've got 7 wins in 8 games, although one of them was a friendly where we destroyed our Sanzi 7-0. But it looks like we are getting back to some decent form. I still want to bring in at least one high-quality player, if not a couple of backup players as well. But there'll be more on that in the next episode as we get through a couple of huge matches against Inter Milan and Juventus. We then have Bologna, who are 13th, before facing Fiorentina in the TIM Cup quarterfinals. So some very, very big games. This is around the point last season that we took over the club. So it's important that we do progress on and finish higher than 5th place if we can. But it's going to be tough. The league is very competitive and our team is not competing at the highest level right now. So hopefully we can definitely turn things around and get a good stretch towards the end of the season. But we'll have to wait and see what happens on that front. If you have enjoyed today's episode, do drop a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe as well if you want to see how we do in our first full season at the club. But until next time, see ya.